Welcome back to another claims adjuster vlog. It's freezing outside and we're not snowed in, we're iced in, and it's cold. So I've decided to work in my PJs for the first half of the day. And while I was here and things are a little slow before I dive into my new claims, I just wanted to come on and talk to you guys about some of the, and I have my notes here, about some of the pros and cons of working as an independent CAT adjuster. So if you're interested in that, stick around and I'll be right back with you. Know that pretty much when I'm doing my adjusting content and I'm doing it like during the day, this is my office. This is my home office. This is where the majority of my content is going to come from, especially when the kids are home. I'm never home alone because my mama live with me. So sometimes my kids will show up with my grandkids and stuff like that. So this is pretty much going to be my background, I should say, that I want to vlog and just show you a little bit of my life as an adjuster. Of course, I'm a commercial inland marine cargo staff adjuster now. So yeah, but anyway, so let's talk about some of the pros about being an independent CAT adjuster. I'm gonna start with the main one. The money, right? The money is out there to be made. I can tell you that the money has changed. It's not what it used to be across the board. You still have some companies that still pay on the up and up. They tier on the up and up. Their fee schedules are on the up and up. But then you have these companies that's been around for the longest of time. And I see that they're starting to trend down because they're still getting the money from the carriers that they were getting prior, maybe even more, but they're wanting to pay the adjusters less and less, okay? And that's typically with some of the IA firms that you hear about all the time, right? The ones that you don't hear about, the ones that the experienced adjusters hold tight to their heart, you probably never heard of them. You're not gonna Google them and they're not gonna come up as a CAT adjusting or independent adjusting firm. You're probably only gonna hear about them through word of mouth, to be honest with you. Okay, so yeah, the money. On my last independent CAT assignment, I made $40 an hour and I worked 63 hours a week. So that was what, 23 hours of overtime at $60 an hour, right? So that's how I made my money, Monday through Saturday, 6 days a week, a year and a half. Longest deployment I ever been on. Don't ever want to be on another deployment, working 6-7 days, over 40 hours a week, like that for that long. When I initially got into claims, I worked no more between 6 and 9 months a year, and the rest of the time I had off to recuperate, spend time with friends, family, spend some of that money I made, have downtime, all that. But now I see that the deployments are lasting a tad bit longer. I've gotten paid by the day, $650, $750 a day while on site. Before then I get home, it'll drop down to $350 or $450 with an internet stipend or something like that. I've been deployed with my regular daily pay, $550, $650, plus like $100 or $125 a day per diem. So that's still possible. I got an offer to actually take a deployment in Arizona here lately. And a couple weeks ago, it was $34 an hour, 2-year contract, no per diem. No per diem, which means you'll be living in Arizona for 2 years and paying for your cost of living. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, yeah, and I've also gotten paid per claim file. $350 per file, $550 per file if I'm in office, $650 per file when I'm in office. Then I go home and I go down to $350, $450 per closed file. Closed file means that initial payment went out but we still had opportunities to stay longer for supplements and different things like that. And that was on property cat deployments for the most part. And then the one with the $40 an hour and the $60 for overtime, that was a total loss deployment. Okay, so I also want to throw this in there. I'm realizing, to me, it looks like you're getting a better pay rate by going with the TPAs rather than with the IA firms. But that's just my personal experience with my mentees and my network, my network working group, that we're starting to see that. Well, we started to see that for a while. Another pro for working as an independent cat adjuster. Y'all know when I first got into this field talking about adjusting and all that, it's just the working 6 to 9 months a year. That's a pro. That's why I loved it. That was one of my selling points for being an independent cat adjuster. But now, again, those assignments are lasting longer. Okay, so that was a pro. I've noticed that times have changed and deployments are lasting longer, which I kind of mixed that in with the first one, but you get the gist of it. Meeting and networking with others on deployment is another pro. It's allowed me to never miss a beat, never miss an assignment, never know about a deployment. I get text messages. We text each other. Did you get this? Did you get this? Did you hear about this? Did you hear about this one? So building a network and never having to look for work. Okay? Cons. When dry season hit, as an independent cat adjuster, it's dry. I've been a staff adjuster since March of 2023 because my assignment ended in December. So a staff commercial adjusting position just fell in my lap. And I can say that a lot of my counterparts were able to get deployed between March and November, December of 2023. And a lot of them have been home the whole time. And now they're ready to get back to work. They've been sitting up, but nothing's going on. The storm is going on. We're going on standby in regards to this storm, but I don't think it's going to give us enough movement to get these experienced adjusters like myself back to working. So a lot of us during this downtime, if we don't have businesses or families that we work with, a family business or something like that, we're going to staff. That's how I've gotten my experience with Allstate, with Comfy Cigars, and some other non-standard companies, was working a staff position during slow time. Some carriers don't like to hire adjusters with a lot of cat experience because they feel like, and most times they're right, that if a catastrophe happens, we're gonna pick up and run off. And most times we do. Another thing is, when you're on a deployment, you're typically on a deployment. There's no opportunity to spend time with family and enjoy life. Unless you get a particular deployment, and I had that with my total loss deployment. I had that. I was able, because the deployment lasted so long, and with the carrier that we worked for, who was awesome, all we had to do was ask for a day off. They encouraged it. You need a long weekend of refreshing yourself. We know you're tired. You need to take some time off from work. And that company is a great company to work for, but I ain't gonna drop their name. They were a great company to work for. I've worked for them as a staff adjuster and also on a deployment through a TPA. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So they did give us the chance to take time off during that deployment if we needed it, as long as you handled your workload. Another thing is sitting for 10 to 12 to 13 hours a day at that desk, looking at that screen, will weigh on your health. It'll weigh on your health. So you have to find ways to, even with the stress of 100 features or 110 claims on you, you have to find a way to keep your body moving, to rest your eyes, take a break, take a walk. You can't get sedentary, which is easy to do. You just get up, walk in your office, sit down. Or if you're on deployment, you get up and go in and sit down, So you have to really, really, really take the time to take care of yourself. Okay, and one of my last cons, there's no claim or foul training when you're on a deployment. They're gonna work you through the gist of the claim systems. They're gonna give you some of their workflows, and they're gonna let you go at it. They don't care if you've done claims 10 years or if you just recently on your own got your license and decided to take a deployment. A lot of the adjusters that's there, they're not gonna sit there and stop their work in production to help you along, right? They're thinking to themselves, I'm making the same $40 you're making. If you can't handle the seat, get out of it, right? So you have to have a certain characteristic to get in there and go out there and be an independent adjuster without any experience. I didn't show up without any experience. I had gotten my liability experience with an insurance carrier that hired me as staff and gave me that foundation to fall back on. My experience was auto, but then my first deployment was a catastrophe property deployment that scared the bejesus out of me, but I winged it and I stayed the whole deployment. I didn't get sent home or anything like that. And then from that point on, I started, requesting and offering myself as team lead to stay on to work supplements. A closed mouth don't get fed. So yeah, that's my pros and cons of independent CAT adjusting. I could have gone deeper, but I am working, and I'll probably run that back again. So I'm gonna go ahead and edit this video a little later. Yes, I'm working in my PJs today. We're iced in and we're just frozen in. No snow here in South Louisiana, but it's cold, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna work in my PJs today, and that's that. All right, well, I hope y'all enjoyed that video. If y'all did, comment, like, subscribe, share, and give me some comments or drop some more video ideas for me. I'm gonna attempt to keep them going, and then I also want to start doing weekly vlogs for y'all, just to show y'all how I have really settled into this staff position. This position was made for me. I was blessed with it. This is my second commercial staff position within the last year. The first one, not so much. It gave me the general overview. This one I absolutely love. So all right, thank you guys again for supporting your girl, Becky Denise, and I'll see y'all back in a little bit. Have a good one.